Hi there, welcome back to Save with Crypto. A new season, season 3. I'm going to call this the 2k to 10k challenge, right? Not quite as exciting as 2k to 1 million, but as people have been thinking I'm just completely mad, I thought I'd give a realistic target for this season, and I think this will probably take a few weeks, maybe a couple of months. To get to 10k. Anyway, the point is we're not in the second season anymore because the value of the account at the moment is $2,197. So we're in profit. We're in the money. It's great. I actually updated the spreadsheet this morning, this one here, and it was actually at that point it was at 2,225. Which is actually 22% up from the original amount in MEX value. So all we need now is MEX to go up in value in a similar way to eGold, which it generally does, and everything will be good. So okay, it's great to be back in the money. Farms aren't ready to harvest yet, so I can't do much there. I have noticed that there's new tokens. Disregarding the ones that you can import and all that. In the actual swap, you've got this one called Effort. I haven't a clue what this is. If anybody wants to enlighten me, that would be great. But at the moment, I'm just sticking with Ride, EGLD and MEX. That's all I'm going to do because those are the ones I know about, and to an extent, I understand the tokenomics of them. So that's where I'm staying for now. There's probably quite a bit of money to be made in these other tokens, but I think if I did that without proper research, I'd just be gambling, and I don't want to do that. Now, just while we're on the subject of gambling, my friend over in the UK, he contacted me asking about, is there any point in HODLing? Is there any advantage in taking profit when you see your money go up? And I did have a think about this, and I kind of Googled a lot of things, and I had a good think, and it's a tricky one, really. I think if you're dollar cost averaging, so say you're buying, $100 worth of Bitcoin or something like that every Friday, then I think overall, just keep adding to your position, and don't even think about selling until you need the money. And I'll show you why. This is Bitcoin USD on the weekly time frame. And the thing is, if you were to have, bought here in October 2020, and somehow you'd predicted the top here, you would have made a great big gain of like 483%, which you'd be completely happy with. And then what would you have done? You would have sold into a stable coin. So say you would sell into like USDT. Oh, by the way, I wouldn't sell into fiat. I think that's just a daft thing to do, because you're going to have like tax implications and stuff like that, depending on what country you're in. And you're also going to lose out on fees when it goes into your bank or whatever. And your bank's going to ask you strange questions. So, I would go into USDT or USDC or some sort of stable coin. There's probably other ones that, you could consider as well. I don't often get involved with stable coins much because they aren't very exciting, to be honest. Now, the point is, would you have been able to predict this bottom here? Or more importantly, would you have been able to predict or act on the Corona crash back in March 2020? I don't know if you would, to be honest, actually, because a lot of people were fearing that, Bitcoin was going to go to zero then. I think the problem is you just don't know when the top is and when the bottom is. And really, if you'd have sold here on the 3rd of May, if you'd have sold here on the 12th of April 2021, that would have been great. And then you could have hung on to your stable coins until it dropped down to here at 29. But would you have been buying at 29, or would you have been sort of panicking thinking it might go to 13 or something? I don't know. But the point is, the overall trend is up, isn't it? So I think if you're looking at a long period of time, then it's probably best just to hold on. So, for example, at the moment, Bitcoin's been going up for the last few days. So you think, oh, okay, maybe it'll just go up a little bit more and then I'll sell here. But if it goes something like that, that's kind of good, because hopefully you'll buy again round about here. But there again, it could just go like that, couldn't it? And then what are you going to do? You're going to buy back in up here when you realise that you shouldn't have sold here. Do you get the idea? So I think overall, if you want a kind of hands-free experience, I'd just hodl and dollar cost average. Now, of course, if you understand trading a little bit, and even swing trading, you don't have to do leverage trading. If you understand swing trading, then maybe there are cleverer ways that you could do it. So, for example, get rid of my drawings. So, say for example, you look at the MACD. This is this indicator here, and you'll need one of the paid plans, I think, on TradingView to be able to see this. And the MACD is it's the moving average convergence divergence. It's an oscillator, so it basically goes into the green, and then into the reddy pink, and back into the green like that. Now, when it crosses from green to red, that's normally when the market starts to go down. Now, the problem with the MACD is it's a lagging indicator, so it almost confirms what's happened after it's happened. But conversely, you do get the bit when it goes from the red to the green, which is normally a bullish signal. So let's look at this over the last few years. So say that you had bought on the 27th of April 2020, you'd have bought around here, and then you would have sold when the MACD crossed down. So you would have sold there. So you'd have made 14%, maybe. I don't know, 14, 20%, that's something like that. So that would have been okay. And then you'd have thought, oh, I've got to buy again here because the MACD is crossing back the other way. Okay, this one would have been good, because you'd have gone from here, and then if you'd have sold here, you would have actually made 300%. Okay, and then you would have hung on to your stable coins, and then you would have bought again around about 16th of August 2021, okay, and then you would have sold on the 29th of November last year, which would have been a 39% increase. So I suppose if you were really strict with yourself and you were looking at something like the MACD on the weekly time frame, and you just went by these indicators, then I suppose that could work out. But I think for most people, honestly, if you're dollar cost averaging, like you're buying a little bit every week, you're buying the same $100 worth. So if it's expensive, you're not buying much. If it's cheap, you're buying more. I think that overall is the safest strategy, because what you don't want to do is just sell all your Bitcoin and then realise the price has gone up loads, and then FOMO back in at a higher price, because you missed out then. Anyway, that's Bitcoin. If you were to look at something like, say, eGold, you can see here it's going to be really difficult to predict the highs and lows, isn't it? Even looking at the MACD here, you would have got a signal to buy here, which would have been great, and you would have seen it go all the way up here, but you don't get the crossing until it's actually dropped down to here. You would have still made a profit, but it wouldn't have been as big. And again, I think this is going to go back up. I'd probably suggest, if you think this is what might work for you, is divide up your HODL stash and then do some swing trading between, say, like Bitcoin, USDT, using no leverage, just literally swapping backwards and forwards on a spot account when you feel that the market is either at a top or at a bottom. So the question is, on a day like today, when everything's looking reasonably green, would today be a selling day or a buying day? Let me know in the comments. And while you're there, give the video a like, and also tick the notification bell. Make sure it's set on all. Make sure you're subscribed, and above all, tell your friends.